Hi folks, welcome back to the shop. Today we're talking about this Wuben X3 flashlight. You can see it's a square flashlight, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. A quick look at the packaging, you can see it comes in Wuben's nice packaging that you can open up here in the center. It splits open, it's got the logo on one side. There's the X3. Take a quick look at the back and you can see that it's got a Samsung LH35 1D LED in it. This is the X3 Aluminum Black Pro version, so you can freeze frame that, check out the different light modes. So let's take a quick look at the light. Really the best feature about this light is it has a head that can rotate around. So you can rotate this around all the way around to a right angled flashlight. And they call this the Wuben X3 Owl. If you notice here, it's got a couple of magnets at the bottom, or feet, that look like feet of an owl, and it's got two LED lights at the top here that look a little bit like the eyes of an owl if you look at it here. And this light has a lot of features. So you'll notice there's no charging ports on this flashlight. You can only wirelessly charge it. You can see here by this indicator on the front. So you take the flashlight, and I have a WuTech wireless charger here, and you can just lay this flashlight on top of it. You can see this WuTech charger starts charging. You'll notice this blue light on the side starts pulsing like it's breathing, and you can see that the LED indicator shows that it's charging, and it's at 90% right now. So that's one way you can charge the flashlight. Now you can't just get the flashlight by itself for around $80, or you can get it with the charging case for around $109. That's the other way you can charge this flashlight, is you can pop it out, put it in this Wuben X3 charging case, and you'll see the LED indicator comes on and it starts charging. And you can see it starts charging the flashlight. We're at 90%. But when it's charging in the case, it's actually charging on the feet of the flashlight at the bottom of this case. It's not wirelessly charging in the case. So once in the case, we can see the indicator. Now I can turn this flashlight on in the case, and you can see it's got a diffuser on here. I've got it in low, and I can hold it down and go to medium, and it can act as a lantern in the case. So that's one option. Or you can take this flashlight and put the head back to being straight out like a traditional flashlight, pop it back in the case, and you can operate this flashlight from in the case. You can have to use the button on the flashlight, but I can turn the flashlight on and it works in the case while it's charging. Not unlike the Olight Baton 4. If I open this, you can see here it also can be turned on in the case and ran in the case. Shut the case, the flashlight turns off. So it works very similar to that. You have two options there with how you have the flashlight in the case. You can have it the lens up or lens down. All right, now let's go through the light modes real quick. If I tap this button, you can see the light turns on. One of the LEDs in the front turns on, and you can see it shows that it's putting out 1 lumen. And that's really what makes this flashlight unique, is it has this LED display. So it tells you the lumen output. If I hold the button down, it goes up to 50 lumens. Up in the top left-hand corner, you can see it says level 2, and LM over here for lumens, so it's 50 lumens. If I hold the button down again, we go to 150. If I double tap it, it goes to turbo, it says 700 lumens, and then tap it again and it turns off. So that's the white light modes. Now, if I hold this button down, you can see it turns on a red light on the opposite side of the flashlight, and it outputs 1 lumen. If I hold this button down again, it jumps up to 80 lumens on that red light. And then if I tap it again, it turns the light off. So that's the red light mode. Now you notice when this light is on, there's a blue light here on the side. It's visible from the back, and it's on this side as well. That's the same light that sort of dims up and down when you're over here charging it. And if I tap this button 5 times, it turns that blue light off. Now the light's still on, but it turns the blue light off on the outside. Tap it 5 times again, and we can turn that blue light back on. This is the black version of the flashlight. There is one that's white. If you get the white version of this flashlight, this blue light will charge up this translucent cover on the light and make it glow in the dark. So if you were to drop your flashlight, you could find it because it's glowing in the dark. So I think that's the idea behind this blue LED light. So what else can we do? If I triple tap this button, it's going to give me strobe. Triple tap again, it goes into SOS mode. If I triple tap again, it goes back to strobe. Tap it once, it turns it off. If I want to lock this light out so that it doesn't turn on accidentally, I can tap this button 4 times. And you can see it shows the lockout on the display. Very nice. It makes it very clear that it's locked out. If I tap it again, at any point in time, it shows, hey, the flashlight's still locked out. Tap it again 4 times, unlocks the flashlight, comes on at 1 lumen. So that's how you lock and unlock the flashlight. Like I said, it has magnets on the bottom that do attach, so you can magnetically attach the light. That's one of the great things about it as a work light, is you'll want that magnetic base to attach it. And also great as a work light is that you can angle this head. So if you attach this light somewhere and you need light, it's at a different angle, a different position. You can position the light wherever you need it. So it's one of the things I really like about this work light. It doesn't have to be just straight out or 90 degrees. You have all these different positions and different degrees in which you can position the light beam on this. So that makes it really handy. And it's a very light light. It's not heavy. It doesn't feel cheap. It's a very light light. Let's see how it looks as a hat light. So we put it on there. It's very light so you don't feel it. But you'll notice that with this clip they have, and it could be improved, it's not a deep carry clip. So the clip doesn't go up here to where the light is under the hat. And this would be the same if you put the light in your pocket as well. But it's lightweight, it would work. One of the challenges would be finding this button. It's not exactly indexed, so if you were to reach up here in the dark, you're trying to find this switch while it's on your hat, you really can't feel it, you know. That's one of the benefits of the Baton 4 flashlight. If we put this flashlight on there, you can see that it has a much more deep carry position with this clip. The light doesn't extend out as far from the hat, and the switch is indexed very well. You can find it very quickly when you want to reach up and turn this hat light on, and it's no problem finding the switch in the dark and knowing, you know, what position it's in to turn it on and off as you're wearing this as a hat light. That's one thing I think that could be improved, is this clip on the flashlight. Also, it puts out a warmer light, more of a natural white light than you would get from a lot of your LED flashlights. This Baton 4, for example, puts out also a little bit warmer light than other batons, but it's more of a white light. If we look at this Wuben X2, which I've reviewed before, it puts out that bright white LED light that a lot of us are accustomed to. So this has more of a neutral white, and as a result, it doesn't appear to be as bright. So when we're comparing it to the Baton 4 over here, which I reviewed before, I mean, this Baton 4 is very similar in the sense that you have a flashlight and a charging case. There's an LED on this case that tells you the charge level of the case. We don't have that on the X3. We have a light that indicates whether it's charged. If I push that button, it's blue. That means the case is charged. If it's red, it needs to be charged. So that kind of makes these two similar, right? They're both flashlights. They're small. They both have a charging case. They work and behave a little bit differently. So let's compare it to the Baton 4 in terms of size. It'll give you a sort of a point of reference if you're familiar with the Olight Baton 4 flashlight. That's the one over here in OD green. But you can see a size comparison there of the two flashlights. The Olight is a smaller light, and I think that's really the key differences, right? This Olight is smaller, brighter, makes for a better hat light, whereas the Wuben has the wireless charging feature and the right-angled light feature, and also a nice LED indicator. It tells you what the charge level is. The Baton tells you what the battery charge level is too, and what light mode it's on, but it does it with green LEDs. It doesn't have the same LED display that you see here on the Wuben light. So I prefer the brightness and the size and the fact this Olight Baton 4 can be used as a hat light more so than I do the Wuben X3. But one thing that's really nice about the Wuben X3 is we can take this light. I can go over here to my Vito Pro Pack Tech MCT bag, and I can mount the light here and set the light at 90 degrees and use the light. So it's nice to have that feature. And as I said, if you hold it down, you get that red light. The red light's good for not blowing out your night vision. So that's the idea behind the red light, is that you can keep your night vision at night when you're running it. Now here's a look at the case itself. You can see there's a button at the bottom we can push, and we can see that it's fully charged blue. You can see it has a USB-C charging port on here, and it also comes with this lanyard. And the neat thing about this lanyard is you push, you can put this on the charging case. Right here's where the mounting position is on this case. And if you take this lanyard and you push these buttons in, there's one on each side. And if I squeeze this, you can notice this lanyard is actually a USB-C charging cable on both ends. So we could take this and we can plug it into the case, and then we can take this and plug it into the wall and charge. Now you'll need a USB-C charging port. I have an anchor here that's, you can plug into the wall. Just plug it in and you're charging the case. And you can see when the case is charging, it shows a red light. And this also has the feature of being a charging bank. So you can take this USB-C cable and charge up other devices. So you can see I can take this charging base and I can plug it into this USB-C port on this battery, and you can see it starts charging the battery. So it can be used as a battery bank. Now, as I mentioned before, this was a Kickstarter project, and this is the production version of the flashlight. It feels like a finished product, but it definitely feels like a first-gen product. For example, the edges down here on the bottom of the case feel sharp. They don't feel smooth and rounded. It doesn't feel like as it's finished of a product as the Baton 4, for example. This is a second generation, but even the first gen of this case felt like a very finished product. But nonetheless, very nice, very different light from Wuben. I'd be curious what you think in the comments. Is this a light you can make use of that would come in handy? I really like the right-angled feature. That's what caught my attention. I've always liked right-angled flashlights. We can go back to where I have this flashlight. This was made by a company called Rofus. This was the R3 flashlight. And I like this flashlight because it had a magnetic base and an angling head. And to me, this flashlight combines the features of this Rofus flashlight with the features of the Baton 4. So it's kind of a mix between these two lights. It's got the right angle feature of the Rofus, but it's also really small like this Baton 4. So you get that compact flashlight, this ultra small flashlight that also has that right angled head. So it kind of reminds me of a mix between these two flashlights. That's really what I like about it. I can see it being very handy. Plus the wireless charging I think is very innovative. Nice to put this on a wireless charger and just have it charge up real quick. So I'll have a link to the Wuben X3 in the description. You can check it out. And please remember to like and subscribe. Those actions help me to continue to bring content to you on this channel. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.